Hello everybody. Hey, this is the Duggystone podcast. Thanks for joining me. This is a podcast slightly different than normal. If you're not aware, we started a radio show last October in 2017 called Duggystone Radio, Duggystone Radio. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Hey, on this podcast, special one, one of our presenters, Mr. Eddie King. Eddie King is really big in the motor world, as it happens, with Lotus. Been a member of Lotus Drivers Club for many years. Does a lot of events, and he started doing some outside broadcasts. And at the weekend, which was really great, he was invited to Central Lotus in the UK, Nottingham. Yeah, he did a great show. He did about a 3-hour set, which is available on Mixcloud. Can't put it on the podcast because of copyright infringements. But they were doing, they had an open day. They had people doing test rides in some of the new cars, etc. He knows. I'm hoping he's going to start doing a car show, a bit like Top Gear. On the station, we have some motorcycle-centric shows there on a Sunday evening. So please go over to Duggystone Radio, Duggystone Radio. Go and check it out. Go and check out the schedule. Please download the apps and have a listen to this. He interviewed Director. He took the excerpts out of this from his day there. Director Andy Bradbury, and they talk about the workshop and the dealership, why they're doing what they're doing. I'll tell you what, it sounds absolutely brilliant. I couldn't make it on the day. I would normally have gone with Eddie, but I had a family gathering, so I had to be there. So anyway, sit back, relax, have a listen to this. Central Lotus, go and check them out. They're in the UK, Nottingham. Absolutely phenomenal by the sounds of it. And I'm going to leave you with this, and I'll join you at the end. Anyway, take it away, Eddie. Get on with the interview, baby.
There you go. As I said, we are going to speak to somebody, and I've actually found somebody. So, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Andy Bradbury. I'm the director here at Central Lotus. So, I'm sorry you've not had a lot of people to talk to. We've been busy out there.
Busy out there.
The weather's come out, the sun's shining, so it's great. Big contrast from yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
As I said earlier on, the weather for this week was a nightmare, and I think you guys were pressing everything, fingers crossed, and we've got blue skies. We have actually met before. I've been here when it was originally you took on the Lotus franchise, and you've been hitting targets, and the amount of cars that I look on your website have all been sold. You're doing really well.
Yeah, I think it's because we don't pressure ourselves, funny enough, on how many cars we sell, because we just love the brand. We got involved in the brand because I purchased one myself, 2.5 years ago, having had the tour around the factory and thought, wow, I didn't know really much about Lotus. So bought an Evora Sports Racer, run it around for a while, and was just generally blown away by how good the car was. And then one thing leads to another, and as you say, we have a showroom full of them now.
Yes,
and it is really just about the love affair that we have. And my business partner, Kevin Riley, obviously races a
yes, I've had a long chat with him actually. My boss says, have you just playing music or you've been talking? Well, actually, I've been showing around all the race bits, so he's been very interesting guy.
So, we just have a real passion for it. We have other businesses, obviously, that are associated in the automotive or the racing side of things. So Lotus was just a natural fit for us.
Yes.
So for me, it's it's a lot of fun. We're meeting some really interesting people because they're a great bunch. These guys that are obviously got Lotuses, and we're trying to introduce people that haven't had Lotus before, or they're driving Porsches and Audis and whatever, and you get the bums on the seats. They go out in these things, and they just can't believe it. So.
Yes, I mean they're amazing cars. As I say, I'm on my fourth one, from Elise's to the Evora, and now with the latest one, the 430, the GT 430, which is pretty impressive piece of kit, I must say.
Yeah, I think it's a massive step up from really when the 400 was first launched. There were little niggles with that car, little squeaks and rattles and things and noises from gearboxes and things that I personally thought, obviously it'll get better.
Yep.
And things like the sound system, the touchscreen system, the hands-free on the phone. It wasn't great, but I know that's not what Lotus is about.
No.
We want to hear the engine roaring away. So from that perspective, I've sort of got it, and it was never a big problem. But the biggest thing straight away from I'm jumping into the 430, and this is the manual car, and I'm a guy who likes the
Yes. Used to have a Porsche, you know.
No. Well, I have an Audi, and of course that's a paddle shift and all the rest of it. So I suppose I'm lazy, whatever. But I'm sort of converted back because the thing that jumped out straight away, there was no gearbox drivetrain noise.
Yes.
It was really quiet. And so that just felt real.
Now
nice
I'm getting
quality.
jealous now.
And the sound system in there. I mean, this particular car's got the subwoofer upgrade and it's got the Apple Play. But crikey, the sound system is as good as anything that you get in like the Audi German cars, etc.
Yep.
So, and again, just gives you a nice feel. You know, when you are sat in traffic, you put the music on, even in a car like that. Because with the car like that as well, it was very well behaved at slow speeds in traffic, driving around, which all the Lotuses are. I think the credit to them, the way these things just generally ride at slow speeds, as well as when you're really giving it some welly and getting the best out of the cars. So it's a real deal. It's just a fabulous package. So it's mind blowing, and the look of the car.
Oh yes,
It's quite striking. I mean, they've saved lots of weight, haven't they, with the carbon on there and fibre. And
but I think that's with any Lotus, because as we know, they're not mass produced as such. You don't see many on the road, but when you do see them, even from the early ones to the very early Elans and things like that, and to the M100s, they just have a passion. They seem to stop people. Some people have smiles on their face. I must admit, when you have a system with a loud exhaust system on it, I just love loud exhaust systems. But but the sound of it, and when you're getting it. But I've always thought Lotus, you get into. I'd say I'm speaking because I've had 4 of them. I'm on with the Evora now. Yep. It's you get out the car and you have a smile on your face.
Yeah. And it is. It's a thing of passion, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, we need a vehicle to get from A to B, to do what we do in our lives. But and the roads are getting busy. You've got to get onto the quieter, country roads, the windy roads, and that's where Lotus really come into their own. And there's just nothing to compare with these things. Pound for pound, they just think they're quite unique.
And as a service centre, I mean, but the side of me, we've got an Esprit, we've got an Excel, and we've got an S3 Elise, is it? I think it is down there.
Yep.
So you're not just servicing the new cars, aren't you? You're looking after the old ones as well?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we want to be the one-stop shop here because this building, I mean, it's sort of 30,000 square feet. Within it we have a fully fledged body shop that we can actually repair. In fact, the car to the right had a vehicle reverse into it with a tow bar on it and cracked the front clam.
Right.
And we've kept the clam, of course, so we can show that somebody's not been in a horrific crash.
Yes.
We've completely replaced that, resprayed it, and it's as good as new. And that's a 14-year-old car.
Yep.
Not every body shop can actually repair these things
Yes.
because they're a bit specialist. So we've got the repair, we've got the alloy wheels, we do the diamond cut repairs, we do the tyres, we do the older cars. We've got a guy that specialises in classic car restoration. In fact, there's an E-Type Series 1 Jag in there now being done from nuts and bolts up.
Fantastic.
So it's so, and anybody's just not coming in to buy a car or to have a car service. I hope they buy into what we're doing as a centre. We call ourselves.
I must admit, having the tour around as my job, my normal job, on my working job from Monday to Friday as a quality engineer. This is like heaven walking around here. Having it was Kevin, wasn't it, that was was showing me around, and we were discussing 4 elements of their business, I just really appreciate his passion is amazing. And as a quality engineer, I say I don't like things wrong, and I'm particular, and I do get told off for saying we're not sending that to customer. As they do, whatever they do after that with the car, I don't. That's not my problem. But when it leaves the business, it's got to be spot on. And I think he has the mind right set. It's going to be right. It's not going out until it is right. And that's the word of mouth, and that's how you build your reputation. For a very young business of selling Lotuses. I mean, we spoke earlier, a couple of years ago when you were taking this on, where you actually had one, and then sort of like had the chat. I said, "Well, do you want to be a dealer?" I'm thinking, oh dear.
Well, we didn't actually want to be a dealer. That wasn't the whole point. I mean, my other business, I run a company called Gen 3 Glasscoat. It does all the ceramic coatings on cars, and we deal with very prestigious cars. Go to Manchester, Lamborghini, and they put our products on. So Lotus came about as a result of us having a Lotus ceramic coat. But when you're there in the middle of nowhere in Norwich, and they think, and I asked the question, "How's Lotus doing?" And before you know it, it's, "Do you want a factory tour? Do you want to go in one?" And then the rest is history. My background from a very early age was in engineering. I was a motorsport race engineer for motorcycles, 2 wheels. So having met Clive Chapman, and spent a good hour with him whilst I was there as part of my touring introduction to Lotus.
Nice guy.
Lovely chap. But when he's opening drawers with schematics and drawings of this, this guy that was clearly a genius, bless him, he's not with us, which is such a great shame, but nonetheless, you look at his legacy. I I'm thinking, we should be teaching our children this. This is just amazing.
Yep.
This is a great British company, with engineering skills second to none. And so I got that side of it, it wasn't just about, well, that's a pretty car, I'll have one of those. It was really what Lotus was about.
I was having that conversation with Kevin because one of my friends, he's second in command of engine build of Chrysler down in Detroit. When he interviews engineers, he says they've got to have the practical experience before they go to university or wherever it is, because he said CAD models, and I have the same problem, you can draw anything in CAD, but when you can't get a spanner on the bolt to bolt it up because you've CAD everything all around it, and they said that's the problem where you've got can a mechanic get at it, can he undo it after we bolted it up, and that's it. You can't just put a bolt there and put something over the top and bond it. So well, how's the bloke supposed to take it to bits then? And that's it. And I say Chris, his name is, and he's retiring because he's earned all his money soon. So he's actually bought one of the new American cars and sent it down to Florida, and he's got number 2 off the build. So he's a very lucky guy. But in his normal day, he's the second in command of building engines at Chrysler. So it's amazing. I seem to like engineers, but as Lotus goes and what you're trying to bring, slightly different concept of bring. I mean, I was looking at your website, your passion. It's more of an adventure coming here and getting the full experience.
Yeah, just coming back to being a dealer. Well, we know what dealers are like in the main. There's some very good, there's some very bad.
Yes.
We didn't want to be any of these. We want to be exceptional, and it wants to be about the development of the brand in our own ways, the best we can develop the brand, and that's getting it out to the masses. I was just having a conversation actually with the Drivers Club guys yesterday, and basically saying that people that have bought Lotus and have followed Lotus for many years, they're fans. You've had 4 of them, so you're one of them.
I'll tick that box.
That's great, but in order to, if we just relied on that business, we'll only ever get what we've got.
Never progress.
We're never going to progress and build the brand. So what we need to do, and which is where our focus is, and where we do a lot of ride events, we do a lot of the shows throughout the year, we do more than any other dealers, but ultimately we're out there promoting the brand because we want people like myself, who's in my mid-40s, never really seen much of Lotus, in a position to be able to buy one of these things.
Yes.
Don't know anything about them. So our target is Porsche. We've sold cars to guys that got Ferraris and Lambos as second and third cars. So, they're that good. So coming here, no, we're not the traditional dealer. You can see from our passion, when people come in, it's right from the get-go. We want to tell people, immerse them in the history of what Lotus is about, where they're going, what they're doing, the exciting times that are ahead of us, the way the cars are put together now. I mean, comments that we've had in the past about what Lotus actually stands for.
Yes, I get that all the time. I get that all the time. There are a few comments I can say about it, but not on the radio, because there's another one that I say and totally confronts them then, sort of like, But as I said to them, when they come down, I say, okay then, so if I'd have bought an M100 or a Lotus Elise, an S1, and you bought something like a Peugeot GTI at the same price, where is the Peugeot GTI now? Probably in a scrap bin, and the Elise has gone up. And we don't buy these cars for investment, even though they do go up in value and they seem to be holding their values. That's the sort of car it is. And they can have all the bad names, lots of trouble, usually serious, that's what they were talking about. And that just drives me round that bend because they're not that bad. No. Porsche have issues. Every car manufacturer, sports car manufacturer, has problems with their cars. They'd be lying if they wouldn't. In the company I work for, we don't openly hide our faults. We say, that's what happens. We don't hide it. That is the truth. We reject it and we fix it. And that's the way to be. Any
business, as you're quite right. I mean, across all of our business, we have a saying that we have a situation where when it goes wrong, we have an opportunity to shine in adversity.
Yes.
That's the saying that we come up because it does go wrong. Whatever you do, in all walks of businesses, it's how you then deal with that customer and with that situation. And, that's the important thing. That's how you're measured as a business. So, when people come in here and something's gone wrong, it's not right, we'll bend over backwards for them to make sure that experience is a good one. Because, you're right, nothing's perfect, it never is. So it is about that. I mean, we had a chap come in on Thursday. He'd been to other dealers, and looked at cars, turned up at a dealership, the thing was flat, there was some electrical problem with it, it didn't run properly, there was all this, a little bit embarrassing, and and obviously, where's the confidence in what he's buying?
Yes, yeah.
Guy came in here, looked at the car, it starts, it's clean, it's right, there was a little chink on the wheel, which we've said we've just not had time to have the diamond repair on that, but it will be immaculate when it's done. Took him out in the car, we took him out in another car to compare, which was the old Evora to the new Evora, and as a result, he bought the car. We don't actually sell Lotus cars. This is the thing, Lotus will sell themselves. Passion. Yeah, so we're just directing people around, helping them, assist them, get them out there. The cars will sell themselves at that good. So no, we don't put any pressure on anybody when they come in here, because that's not what we're in it for.
No.
We have a great selection of cars, we've got a great relationship with
to be honest, there's plenty of other dealerships that try and do that, and if you're trying to be different...
The motivation is probably different. I mean, as a business, this is a business of passion.
Yes, yeah.
Myself, sunk a lot of money into this business, into the cars, and we haven't had a bean out of it in the time we're doing it, and don't expect it sometime in the future. But the reality of it is, sorry, my phone, because at the end of the day, I suppose, like any business, commercial business, it has to stand, it has to make money, it has to do things right, so that we can continue to offer an exceptional service. But that comes naturally as a result of doing a good job. So we look after our customers, we care for the customers' needs, and then ultimately...
Because they come back again on numerous occasions, and
we
especially...
want customers for life.
Yeah, and I was speaking to one of your guys that bought an Elise 3... What was it? The Exige, sorry, because the 430's out now, and he brought the one before it, and he said he didn't want to go back into you guys because they knew he'd be coming out with that one, whatever he has on that. The orange one, he brought the orange one.
Oh, Nigel Garrity.
Yes. So I saw him before because I think I met him at Tracks, which is talking about Tracks. That's coming up very soon, so that's an ideal place to catch up with Central Lotus because they will have their cars there. Lotus Drivers Club are going to be there as well, and then we're taking. You can go out in one of the cars as well. But I do love your. The thing is, last year, and I'm going to praise these guys really good. We had some people which had a German car and they were revving the nuts off the exhaust system.
I know what you're going to say now.
But to be honest, after a while, it did not get boring. It really did. Then luckily, Central Lotus came to all their prayers. They got the race car out and turned it on and just flicked the accelerator, and it was just bliss. And they went away, and it was great, and everybody was just started cheering. So don't have a go with the exhaust systems with Lotus around because you're going to lose. I'm sorry, no matter what German car you've got.
I remember that well. It was we recorded that and put it on our Facebook, which is because we're quite prominent on the Facebook stuff. And basically, you're dead right. There was the usual typical Mercedes, BM German stuff, revving till the valves are bouncing. And we're all hoping, just please blow up, just brake. Of course they don't. But the reality is, there was a harem of people went there around these cars. So we thought, we've had enough of this. So basically, as soon as we fired the race car up, literally 150 people just walked away whilst they're still revving because you couldn't hear their car.
Correct.
Over our car, which is of course a race car with no baffles. It was absolutely glorious, wasn't it?
It was.
And they came over and a round of applause. It was fabulous. So
it was for us. It was like having God. It really
didn't
was.
Do it again, did they? For
no,
afternoon?
No.
Yeah.
But that's the next event coming up actually. So if you are listening to this and you want to see Central Lotus, come. The Tracks event is open to everybody. The ticket's still available. It's a fantastic event to come along and have a look round. I can't remember what days. I should have a look on the website actually. But if you go on Tracks, go to Dollington on events, or go to Central Lotus website. They must have an events page up there of telling you what's coming up. And I say it's the beauty of this. I'm doing a great job here because everybody's all outside in the sunshine, looking around these stunning cars. The GT car is being driven by the Lotus from the Heffel, isn't he? For the Lotus driver from Heffel we've got here at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, we have got Scott Walker.
Scott Walker is here. And if you Google Scott Walker at Lotus, he's pretty tasty, he's driving, and he's a lovely guy. And I've been out with him before. And
sorry, you're talking about Jay Shepherd?
Is it Jay Shepherd?
You're talking about Jay Shepherd, yeah. Jay Shepherd's in the building with us, yeah.
Yeah, I did recognise him because he was coming past with a nice cup of coffee, and I said, I must go and get a drink.
Yeah. Well, you've got Scott Walker from Lotus, and I'm sure he's a tasty driver, and of course he's a fabulous guy, Scott. So, lives and breathes Lotus like we all do.
Yes.
So, fabulous to have him here today and yesterday. He's out there working hard on the test drives whilst we're entertaining customers inside. And but we also have a guy called Jay Shepherd, who's an exceptional driver.
Yeah.
And, so basically... whenever we do our ride and drive events, because we have 2 ARDS instructors. He's an ARD instructor, and so is Gareth, who's the second driver to Kevin.
Yep.
So we can really start to show people what these cars
That's the beauty. So you go to some dealerships, so you can go to any, and I don't know what that noise is, but it sounds absolutely amazing. It does sound like a motorbike.
Sounds like a Harley, I think.
It's a
a
Harley.
shop. Yeah.
Kurt, you should have come, mate. You're into bikes.
Yeah, it's a
and Clive.
It's done it, yeah.
Yeah, so yes,
well, that was actually quite nice.
It is a bit nice. But I say, for me coming here, I got invited. I'm a Lotus fan, and we do correspond with Central Lotus quite a few times, different show events and all that, because we do some similar shows. But say the NEC, we've crossed over a couple of times, and Donington and their race car, because I actually do watch some of their racing as well. And I think this car's done Le Mans, isn't it? One of the race cars beside of me. So if you are, so I always like going to Le Mans 24 hours, either the classic or the real race, proper racing. But I say it's Central Lotus. There's lots of things going on, and I do appreciate you've got a very busy time to talk to people. So I really appreciate you coming over to me.
Yeah, I was just trying to get you the dates for the.
We're trying to get the dates for tracks, because that's the next one that's coming up, where Lotus Drivers Club, where I'll be there, and also with Central Lotus are going to be there with a grand selection of cars. But if you are thinking about buying a car, these are the guys to come and talk to. They're lovely. They sell you a passion. If you come out of a car, that's a bonus. But I love the white Evora 400. My wife isn't listening to the show at the moment, so I'm okay. So I will have an Evora 400 one day. But yeah, I still love in my NA version. So there's other things. My wife wants to retire, unfortunately. So they're sort of like retire or buy a new car. Don't sort of like go to plan. So that's why we're with Duggystone Radio. We're here most of the morning, actually playing some great music. We got an invite, but this is what we do. We go out and have a chat with people, especially with these guys with an amazing passion of race cars, not just road cars, and they've got this engineering background, which I love as well, being an engineer myself. So is there anything you would like to say before we start playing some music?
Just to finish off on the engineering thing, I'm sure Kevin has gone through the National Motorsport Academy at the Run, because it's about bringing about young, new talent for engineering it into F1 ultimately, but motorsport in general. And ultimately, what's important when we're talking about what this dealership encompasses, yes, we talked about repair and the sales, new and used, older cars, everything. You want to buy a race car, a track car, you want to learn it. We do all of that. But the one very important thing is as well is that you should buy a car from us, or you have a car from anywhere in a Lotus, and you want to bring it into our service centre. This is very important. It's one of the things we talk about a lot. These are actually Lotus race engineers. They're working on a Lotus race car.
Yes.
They're working on your road car.
Yes.
Okay, this is white glove treatment, and I think it's so important.
Yes.
These cars now, we're selling 430s at £125,000. They need that confidence when they bring in that car in for service work or even repair work or anything here, that the people that are working on these are actually people that only work on Lotus cars. And I think that's really quite important, because this is not the normal run-of-the-mill car. So the big draw for me, I know that obviously I'm not going to be disrespectful of any mechanics out there that work in on multi-franchise cars, but a Lotus engineer is where I'm at, particularly when you're doing a car in the end. It is important.
I've got a very good friend, Simon Huff, he's an electronics engineer, and he said you can always tell an engineer or a mechanic when his passion at the weekend is to do with what he's doing in the week.
Exactly. They live and breathe it, and I think that's important. They treat every car like it's their own, and I think that's important as well.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the cars have to be serviced, they have to have work done on them. It's just also assuring to know that when they come here, when they come to Central Lotus, they are actually getting that kind of service as well, which is, we think, second to none. So that's important.
Yeah, that just about says it all, really. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, good to see you.
Enjoy your day.
Get out there in the sun now.
I'm going to play some more music. If it was going to be raining, this place would be very busy.
It would be.
This is what we like. I'm playing some music. You can download the app. Don't forget to download the Duggystone app.
Yeah, so that was a great interview. Really enjoyed it. I took a lot from it. And as you can tell, Eddie knows his stuff, doesn't he? I'll tell you what, we should finish off with this, shouldn't we? We should have this going. Yeah, there you go. Let's get the music going in the background. I'm a professional. So like I say, go and check out Duggystone Radio. Please go on to it. duggystone.radio.com. Download the free apps. Go and check out Central Lotus. They've got a website, obviously Central Lotus in the UK. Phenomenal. And if you're looking to buy a decent sports car, that's the place to go. Oh yeah. Thanks, Eddie. Thanks for doing the outside broadcast. A big shout out to all the presenters. We have a range of shows, 10 a.m. UK time, business shows repeat at 2 o'clock. We've got shows like unsigned artists from 1 o'clock for an hour, all unsigned music. We've got jazz, we've got new country. Go and check out the schedule, Duggystone Radio. Brilliant. And all the success to Central Lotus. Thanks for having us on board. Thanks for getting Eddie over there. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, people, stay safe, and I'll see ya.